Hello, I'm David Coburn, leader of UKIP in Scotland and member of the European Parliament. So far, it's been a very busy week in Brussels. This week, mid-term was taking place. All committees were reshuffled for the next 2 years. I remain a full member of the Fisheries Committee, defending, until Brexit takes place, our fishing fleets and fishing grounds. I also keep on defending our UK interests on the Economic Committee on Monetary Affairs as well as the Taxation Committee. This week, I participated in the economic dialogue and exchange of views with the Finance Minister of Malta, currently holding the presidency of the Council of Europe. We discussed the Juncker investment plan, a gigantic fund of over 300 billion euros, which will focus explicitly on investments that are not able to be funded through the financial markets because they're too risky. Brussels bureaucrats with little experience of business, quite frankly, in my opinion, are not the best people to decide which companies to give public money to. You understand that this Juncker plan is a huge Keynesian plan for more government spending, taxpayers' money. The result is more public debt and more financial bubbles. I may hope we are completely out of the EU before this bubble bursts and will result in new financial crisis in the continent. Let's hope. In the Panama Committee, which I'm on, which sounds very exotic but isn't as exotic as it sounds, the Committee of Inquiry into Tax Evasion and Tax Avoidance, a hearing with some senior lawyers and academics was taking place. I joined in that. The European Union wants to install new tax regulations. This is nonsense because countries have already implemented legislation on a national level, and there are already rules and guidelines set out by the OECD on profit shifting on an international level. Tax optimization is the main problem, but it is not the main problem rather, but greedy and big governments are. Politicians are plundering taxpayers' money and they are giving nothing in return for this. This needs to come to an end. The European Parliament and the European Commission also want to create a taxation blacklist. The Commission this week said that probably Trump's America will be one of the countries on this blacklist. And I'm sure they will add the United Kingdom in the future when we reduce taxation after Brexit. So this is called a taxation blacklist. It is just a way to punish countries that are being more competitive with taxation and saving their taxpayers' money. While I was busy intervening in all those parliamentary committees, defending our Scottish interests, a committee from the Scottish Parliament came to Brussels to discuss Brexit. I'm fascinated that this Holyrood committee has come here in the European Parliament, but has not even asked to meet me, the only elected Brexit MEP. The SNP seems to be hiding from me behind luxuriant rubber plants in all the European Parliament's kilometres of corridors or miles of corridors. They were interested in meeting with the right-wing nationalists from various other parts of Europe than they were in meeting with someone who may have a contrary view to their view on Brexit. Scotland needs a hard Brexit, contrary to this committee's preconceived notions. From what I've read in the press, it looks like they have already made up their minds on the result of their investigation before they have had the chance to tuck into their sumptuous Euro luncheon. Major Scottish industries require a hard Brexit, e.g. the fishing industry. Scotland needs her 200-mile fishing grounds, which can only be achieved by a hard Brexit out of the single market. A revitalised fishing industry will create a multi-million-pound fishing and fish processing industry in Scotland, enlarging what we've already got. It will create new jobs in an enlarged fishing fleet and fish processing industries. Currently, much of the benefit of this of industrial fishing fleets goes to Spain and other EU member states, but not Scotland. The Scots whisky industry, which supports 40,000 jobs and creates about 4 billion, maybe 5 billion pounds a year, sees a lot of opportunities through bilateral trade deals outside the EU. Indeed, the Scottish and UK governments will be able to make independent trade deals worldwide. Industry leaders say that they are backing Britain to win favourable bilateral trade deals with key export markets like India, where exports have been stalled for more than a decade due to EU bungling. The UK's exit from the EU opens up the possibility of negotiating a beneficial trade agreement with the United States, as indicated by President Trump. This could also benefit Scotland's unique and highly profitable tweed trade. The Americans love tweed. Only with hard Brexit can Scotland avoid open-door EU immigration, which stresses our already overstretched health service and social housing. So instead of coming to Brussels, Nicola Sturgeon would be better taking care of her Scottish budget deficit, which is already 15 billion and becoming larger and larger. Nicola Sturgeon is wasting her time fighting last week's Brexit judgment in the Supreme Court, which said that the UK needs to leave as a whole and that we have already decided this matter and it's not for Scotland to have any more say in this affair. This is something for the UK. That was decided. The UK makes the final decision on this as a whole. While Sturgeon is wasting her time, at the same time, I'm reading in the newspapers this week that the health of children in Scotland is among the worst in Europe, according to a major new study. At such a moment, I think to myself, Nicola Sturgeon and her SNP government are shameless. They should spend more time dealing with Scotland and not fighting for Scottish independence, which people of Scotland have rejected.